Okay, welcome to Mobile Freedom Enterprise. There's just a few things I want to show with this video. First of all, this video is primarily to find out if we need more light, which we do. Give me a second. Okay, and we have more light. Now that's one of the beautiful things I love about the, we'll start with the Nokia Lumia 830 phone. I've had this put away. It's an old phone. I think I got it back in 2014, about that year. And let me tell you, what a fantastic phone. Just look at the video quality of this, okay? I'm not touching the screen. I'm not doing anything. This is the auto focus. It's not laser focus or anything like that, but it works really fast. And you know, while you're recording, you can pause it, or if you need more light, you can turn on the light while it's recording, which is awesome. All right. And it's a Windows phone. I love Windows Phone. It's really sad that they had those issues and now they're just out of the mobile phone business, because I love the operating system. It's just so fluid and simple, and right now when Apple is down, I think that would be fantastic if they would bring it back. But anyways, okay, just for anyone who's interested in Nokia 830s, highly recommend it. The build quality, the operating system, everything about it is just phenomenal. Except the battery. Battery doesn't last too long, but you can get extras. It's a exchangeable battery, and you can also add an SD card. Comes with 32 gigs. You can add up to 128 gigabytes. And it's a quad-core processor. Really fast on Windows Mobile. Anyways, so here we have, this is a comparison. You know, you want to shop for a portable laptop, and you're looking at tablet options, and here we have the mini, the Apple Mini 2. Okay, this is the one with the Retina display, which runs pretty fast. I think it's also dual core. I'm not very techie, so please forgive me, but this is just a layman's video on what you should do. And this is a quad core, which is comparable. Like I have a Celeron, which is a dual core processor. Celeron Atom chips. This is an Atom quad core. It claims, Asus claims on the website when I bought it, it's just like running a quad core phone, basically, and has no fan. This is fanless. I'll show you the physical aspects of it in just a second. But look at the size differences. It's an 11.6 inch screen, or 11.5 inch screen. Okay, and this is this 8 inch screen, I believe, with the Apple iPad, sorry. But you know, very quickly here, we'll take a look at what the sound quality is. All right, so first of all, if you're typing, you need to get the ZAG case. It connects Bluetooth and has backlit keys, which is great. You can't get that on inexpensive. Now let's talk about pricing. Okay, I'm sorry, none of this is scripted. So let's talk about pricing. You can pick this up for about $150. Okay, right now on eBay in 2018, and this you can pick up for about 20 bucks. All right. So under $200, you'll get this whole setup, and I'll show you the size and how portable it is. All right, and here you can get this. They have a lot of open box specials or refurbished. You can get it for about $120 or cheaper from Best Buy, for example, or on eBay. On eBay, you can get these brand new, and at Best Buy as well, for just under 200 bucks, or maybe right over 200 bucks. Now here you'll get 16 gigabytes. You'll pay a little bit more and get 32. Here you get with 32 internal SSD drive, so it's really fast, and you can add has micro SD, so you can add more space to it. And I'm getting a phone call. That's another thing which is pretty good. You can answer your phone, like the phone is charging. My iPhone's charging in the room, but I can answer phone calls and do everything it's as if I had the phone with my iPad. That's a great advantage. You can't do that with Windows. But Windows is very top heavy with the space it takes, so you'll be left with very little space on the hard drive. Okay, another thing to consider. But you have a bigger keyboard. Now the display is much better on the Retina, obviously, but it is smaller. So, I prefer the larger display, especially if I'm watching videos. But if you want to get really portable and you use this at night in bed with your wife or girlfriend right next to you, or kids, and they're trying to sleep, fabulous. This is incredible. But let's do some speed tests here. Um, Not actual speed tests, but we'll let's see. Do I have the Geekbench on here? I believe I have the Geekbench on here and on the phone as well. Let's take a look. I mean, on the iPad. Yeah, let's do a Geekbench test. Okay. Now, searching through either product is basically the same. And here you have touchscreen, but here it is, the iPad Mini Retina. So clocking in at it's an A7 chip, 1.3 gigahertz, 1 gigabyte of memory. Okay. We'll do this later. We'll just run a CPU benchmark, and we'll run a CPU benchmark here as well. Okay, and let's see how they score. Now, in the meantime, let's talk about the keyboard. They both run really cool. This one never gets hot. Gets a little bit hot if you want to do gaming or things like that. And games run really, really well. For example, my son loves to play Roblox on here, and this screen records flawlessly. You don't have that option with a Retina like you would on the phone. Or maybe it does. Well, someone else can tell me. I'm not sure because I'm not a gamer. But this is much better to play with, in my son's opinion. He's my 7-year-old, my 5-year-old. They both play. They prefer playing on here because of the bigger screen. And should I run the? I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, we'll do this at the same time, so it may affect the performance on the Geekbench, but that's okay. But I want to show you. We'll go to YouTube. Actually, I won't do it now because it just may stop the Geekbench process on the iPad. Let's see what else I can tell you in the meantime. Build quality is incredible on both. The iPad. Everyone knows the iPad. Fantastic build quality on that, but you drop that once and it's really heavy, and you can crack that screen even with a case, I imagine. I'm very careful with my things. This it's more, believe it or not, it's larger and it's far more lightweight than the iPad. Isn't that amazing? And my son dropped it once and not a scratch because of its lightweight. This, I'd be very, very upset if I dropped it because chances are it'll crack. It's a heavier product, and that weight adds to the capability of just having it destroyed. Let's take a look at the LEDs. There's lots of light in here. Cool thing is you can make them really bright, and this is in broad daylight. There's a lot of light in here. You can change the colors. Pretty cool, pretty nifty-galifty, I'd say. Depends on your mood, you can change the colors. You can shut that off completely. Okay, let's see how we're doing. We have it's been running for 2 minutes. So is this. I'm sorry guys, I should have had this completed before I showed you the video. So let's pause this and come back. Well, let's talk. I closed the window shades, but anyways, let's talk a little bit about the Nokia Lumia that I'm using. Fantastic audio recording, which I'm sure you can tell here. It is stereo recording, but not beyond that. Stereo, you hear that? I'm on the right, and I'm on the left. You should hear that with the headphones. Great thing about this phone, it's got Dolby Surround, so it has a total of 5 different microphones. So I've taken this I took my daughter to see one of her favorite bands. It's called 21 Pilots, and you can see this on this channel, and check the sound quality. That concert was extremely loud, and there was no distortion on this phone. And the visuals, just it records amazing in darkness. Okay, so the Windows, the Asus laptop is still running. And look at the score. The single core score on the iPad is 1268. The multi-core score is 2141. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, I don't know what compute means, but it's got a battery test. Let's test the battery next. Okay? So remember, 1268 versus 2140. 1268 and 2141. We don't have the verses yet, as this isn't up yet. But it's almost finished. Okay? So let's do the battery test, and I'll give you my feedback on the battery. Run test for full discharge. Dim screen. 20 minutes to run? No, we'll skip that. I'll just tell you about. All right, so that was 1268 on the single core, and here you have single core 890. Multi-score is 2172, and the multi-score over here was 2141. So, all you geeks out there, people that are really into the techie stuff, maybe you can tell me what the big deal is. This is a lot slower in the single core. I guess this is for when you're running multiple processes. Like, you know, someone like me or my kids, you wouldn't buy this for multiple processes anyways, I don't think. You know, let me hear your feedback on that. But speed-wise, you know, let's take a look. I've never noticed a difference of this being any faster than this for basic computations. But let's go to YouTube and watch a video. And this is for the sound test. I want to show you what it sounds like. And this is running a YouTube app, and there is an app for Windows, but I like to use the online version to save some space. So let's run the same video. Let's see, free music. Apologize, I'm doing this one-handed. No copyright music. Let's do here, free music. And it's much easier to type on this keyboard, obviously, because it's larger. And it's still smaller than a standard full-size keyboard like the computer I have there. That's a 15-inch screen. But it's very, very comparable. I don't tell the difference between both, and that one's a lot larger. Okay, so here we have. Nope, I'm touching the screen on that idiot. Okay. All right, so these are both up. Let's choose the same video. Turned all the way up. Stereo speaker. I'm going to put the phone, stand it right next to that to make the full effect of the speaker. It's another thing about this Nokia phone, it's square. So you can... A little distortion on the speakers. Well, the amp is too much for the speakers that come with this, and this has speakers right at the bottom. So it's down firing. So if you're sitting in bed on a pillow, it'll muffle the sound. Oh, hey! It'll muffle the sound. But anyways, if you're wondering what Asus this is, that's a good question. It's pretty loud, very loud actually. It's louder than the Lenovo over there, that's for sure. Alright, this is it doesn't say on the system there, but it's a 2TX205X or something like that. If you write me, I'll find out what it is, but we can turn it over and look right now anyways. But let's take a look. It's running the Intel Atom CPU, the Z373-5F, 133 gigahertz. Pretty comparable to, I mean, it's the same speed as the Apple. This is 2 gigabytes DDR3. 32-bit operating system. Alright, so that was enough with that one. Let me close it up now. And we'll look at the form factor in just a second. Now there's no audio playing here for some reason. The other one, I just went to the channel and it started playing. I'll just turn all the way up. And this has a speaker on the side, remember? So you could be sitting in bed and your sound will be protected. It won't be distorted or covered up by a pillow. But if you do this, it's a lot louder. See? I'd say they're very comparable in volume. I really like this Retina display. You can see a lot more detail. The colors are more vibrant. Okay, let's look at the form factor here. This is the difference in size. And just to show you a comparison, it's a 14.5 inch screen laptop, the 11.5, and then the Retina. Now this is pretty heavy. I'd say maybe a pound. Yeah, feels like my wife's dumbbells she works out with. It's heavy. You drop this, it's not gonna be pretty. And look at the thickness. This one's just a little bit thicker, not much. And you have USB ports, and you can access your files better. There's an adapter that you can get with this. I should show it to you, but it's the standard adapter, so you can connect. It says for cameras, but I've connected USB drives to it. And you don't have the same file functionality. It's easier to be on Windows and to transfer files and photos and things like that. This is very picky. It only doesn't let you transfer movies, but it'll look for photos and that sort of thing. Pain in the butt. That's what I don't like about it. But you know the portability. It's a lot smaller. Look, I can hold this with one hand. This, impossible. Unless you got really big hands, and you look kind of silly holding it with one hand, anyways. But I think it weighs about, yeah, it's about the same weight, about a pound, believe it or not. It wasn't spit. That's from the perspiration on the drink here. So you have all these ports. Let's take a look. I'll have to open up the. Let me turn on the light. Ooh, look at that! Only with the Lumia. All right. So you have a proprietary cable for the charging. You have micro SD. You have a micro HDMI output, which is nice. Headphone jack. And on the other side, you have 2 more USBs. All right. On the iPhone, the iPad, you just have the one. You have to buy extra adapters. But you can answer phone calls with this. It's really nice. So anyways, that's it. I just wanted to show you that, and hopefully you enjoyed this video on the Lumia 830 or 820 was it? And hopefully this helps someone make a decision. Should you get the iPad or the let's call it a netbook? They don't use that term anymore, but I would get this personally. That I have because sometimes I'm charging and I need to use the phone away from the phone. So anyways, thanks for watching. Well, one thing I forgot to mention, battery life between the Apple iPad, okay, and the Asus mini laptop. It's a mini laptop. This Asus will run you, I've gotten it up to 11 hours. That's with my son using it online. It's incredible. The iPad will get you about 8 to 9 hours. So you get more battery life with this. You can leave your charger at home with this. This one, you have to carry it around. Because I mean, we haven't used it extensively. I imagine this would last about maybe 4 or 5 hours on high usage because of the Retina display. This one, I mean, literally, my kids have used it for hours and hours and hours. And you know, you have a little display here to tell you how much time is left. So roughly 8 to 9 hours on high usage. Thanks for watching.